Can I? Can anybody hear me? Can somebody just comment that they can hear me? It'd be super appreciated. Somebody literally bailed for the room, like, oh my god. Oh, I guess they're back. Can anybody hear me? I just don't know if I'm being heard. Would somebody mind commenting whether or not they could hear me? That would be so great. You can. Thank you very much, Giovanna. Coco, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Coco. Okay, awesome. Let me ask you guys while I have you guys here. I'm just gonna take this the little speaker thing out, and if you guys can if you guys can hear me, if you can let me know, and if you can let me know if you can't hear me. All right, so 3, 2, 1, it's something's going on with my laptop. So the heartbreaking thing, I never told you guys. I'm just gonna chit chat with you guys while I set these cards up. And before I say that, though, I do have to introduce my black cards. I have not used these in well over a year. It is so good to have these beautiful cards back. I couldn't find them. They were like stored somewhere, and now I found them and so happy to have them back. But anyway, so there's something going on with my laptop, and I did 2 really amazing readings, like, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 months ago on Meghan and one Meghan and Serena. I think I mentioned it to you guys before, and then just another one on Meghan. And I was just going for like, you know how long these freaking videos are. I was going for like freaking hour on both of them, and then later on I went to go edit them, and zero sound, nothing. So anyway, all right, let me just check the chitty chat room here, see what's going on with everybody. Oh yes, affirmations. How is everyone's Christmas going so far? All right, taste of honey. Taste of honey. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Christmas. So for those of you who normally have never even been to this channel, welcome. And let me get started. I guess the cards are like, we're gonna get started. So look, this is beautiful. Which one came up? It was this one, and then this one. So what we have here, this may be a little hard for you guys to see. This is the Chariot and the Chariot, the High Priestess, and the 4 of Wands. So I mean, Christmas for them is like really amazing. Meghan like made up the house. She just did everything so nice. Like, I think Christmas is nice and cozy. They may have actually even gone and seen the Queen. I don't know if you guys can see these cards. Sorry about that. If I go this way, is that better? Maybe a little better. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe you do that and have a little bit of a Christmas tree in the background. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, so based on this or whatever, Meghan is, she's made the house really beautiful. She's also, to me, like, incorporated a little bit of some religious passages from the Bible in order to, I don't see her as an overly religious person, but what I see is that when the airy fairy yogis and also yogi stuff. I'm not dissing yoga, not dissing yoga because I love yoga. But when the stuff that really is more, I guess, internally driven than an outside force that people have built a lot of powerful energy around, and so you can like harness into it. When those things aren't kind of working internally, like you call more, you're like, okay, let me just go back to a little bit Jesus and God, or something like that. And that's what that looks like with her. Like, she's taking out a couple Bible passages. They're having nice candlelit dinner. It's really quiet between the two of them. They're very much so in sync. Harry made some kind of deal, some kind of trip, some kind of something that's working really well. And I feel like they may be, I feel like they may be getting like another house again, or I was just about to say moving, and then here goes the Eight of Cups. Something's going on. Like, they may be getting another place somewhere else. Let's see what happens with that. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, so hold on. Ooh, the devil. I'm just going to take this up because this is always so powerful with these particular cards. So, that was that. I mean, I'm kind of not sure that they're getting on 100% well in their house at Frogmore or something like that. I'm going to ask a little bit more, but when I asked about them moving and stuff, well, it seems like Meghan likes it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out what the storyline is here. I'm not exactly 100% sure that the energy around Frogmore is the best for them, even though, it's nice there. It's green. It's sort of secluded and stuff like that. I'm not sure that they fully realize that yet. I don't feel like certain people are sleeping well in the house. It feels like somebody is having some kind of nightmares and some weird stuff going on, and some kind of stress or whatever. But for the most part, though, they're having, to me, like a great Christmas. And, Meghan has gone out of her way to make everything really, really, really. Meghan needs to clean herself spiritually. I want to say, if there's somebody in integrity out there who can help her with this, because there's a whole bunch of like people just looking at her, and I know we're actually looking at her too, but I'm talking about with ill intent, and it's like harnessed all over her energy. She needs to be cleared. Ill. I don't know if she even realizes this. There's something weird there. There's something weird I can't get with right now. It looks to me like some kind of organization, like, So all I say is, someone who's in integrity, who knows how to deal with this shit, help this girl. Help her, because she shows up constantly as the high priestess. Why should she be dealing with this bullshit? And I can't stand spiritual bullying. I can't stand that punk ass, bitch ass shit. I'm sorry. And it's just like this guy said, if you want to fucking test yourself, you test your ass against nature. You don't go and you don't just because you know a couple of extra spells or whatever the fuck you do out there in some bitchery, throwing shit on a person who doesn't even know how to perceive or understand that, or even shield themselves. Like, go test yourself up against fucking animals and nature. You want to test yourself against somebody. You're not testing yourself against anybody. You're throwing stuff and doing stuff to, or whatever, who has no idea about multidimensional stuff and all of this bullshit that you've been trained in. But usually, I mean, I'm not being I'm not dissing people who actually do those things in integrity. You know, I'm not, or work in integrity using those elements, but they're working in integrity. But I'm just talking about people who are, you know, I mean, if they're working in the physical world, they're predators. They're, you know, they're scam artists. They're working in the spiritual world, they're spiritual predators. So, you know, just I can't with that. So, I mean, honestly, if somebody out there knows what the hell to do, yeah, I mean, this is not correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me a second here. Yeah, I mean, her sister shows up. This is something her sister. What the fuck is going on here? Excuse me. Meghan needs some spiritual cleansing. Here it is. I knew it. I didn't want to say it. This showed up 2 minutes ago. I was like, that's that devil shit. I know this bitch is throwing something against her in her sleep. It's okay though. Even when you don't know, when people are throwing stuff at you and they're doing stuff or whatever, even though you don't know exactly how they're doing it or whatever, one, your free will override anything as soon as you call it in. Two, nobody has higher authority than you. So the shielding, the protecting, the commanding, the standing in your space, the commanding of it, breaking any kind of contracts that would allow for any vulnerabilities for these things to happen, doing that and standing one. And it's, as a matter of fact, something is saying that she kind of actually sort of knows a little bit of this. Like, I don't think she full on knows it, but this is why she is, you know, she unconsciously knows this shit, and this is why she's doing more stuff. But I just say, you know, for you know, somebody in integrity, and that's why my readings are bound, so that whoever is in integrity, they won't even see this message. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just feels like the sister is involved in some weird kind of spiritual mess here. I mean, look at this. And especially look at that. I didn't even mean to put this up at the thing like that, but this silly bitch is going to end up getting in a lot of trouble messing around with these forces. She doesn't. I'm just gonna put that away. It's okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it's okay. Somebody's gonna handle that, and it's not going to be pretty for that sister. All right. And so for the chick who watches all the time and you know who you are, and the people who watch with ill intention and they know who they are too, you know, or anybody watching this to get information on Meghan. I mean, I see you. That's why you're not getting the information you are. And sooner enough, you will fall on your own sword. Okay. All right. So, guys, I'm sorry. Let me go back to this. Let me see what's going on with you guys there. This will just break attention. Taste the honey. Merry Christmas. You guys, after all that tense discussion. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when you said this, taste of honey, but yeah. I really, when I saw it over here, it was about, you guys know, it was about 10 minutes ago or 8 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, this is the devil thing, and it was a 9 of swords, and I just was like, let me put that away. And then I see here somebody's doing something to her as well, and then comes the freaking devil. As soon as I said this is probably from her sister, and the Queen of Swords, which represents her sister a lot. So there's a lot going on, but she's praying about that. Let's see how this plays out a bit. You know, yeah, her belief is so high in God. Her or let's say God, good, divinity. You know, these are her clarifier cards, the Queen of Cups and the Sun over the High Priestess already. She's got stuff stuck to her. It's just disgusting. It's just this gross. I mean, like gross. But she's gonna be okay. Somebody's actually coming through for her. But she's got an angelic team like you wouldn't believe, and she's got a multi-dimensional team as well. So whoever the fuck is out here doing this, like they're seriously about to get fucked up. Okay? You can't get away, you cannot run, you cannot hide. And this is now the time, I'm gonna get on my little freaking soapbox here. Sorry guys. This is the time actually where people who have been leveraging their knowledge of the dark arts or distorting the arts of spiritual alchemy, spiritual metaphysics, whatever you want to call it, and leveraging that against people who don't know it, they are in a world of fucking trouble because they've been riding on this shit for a long time. I'm talking about some of these people like 30, 40 years riding, just slapping people, like innocent people who don't know what's going on. And then even to some of you out there, I'm not saying toward you, but just anything where you may have even wondered in your life, like, why am I going through the same pattern? What's this obsessive thought that I have that is so weird? I can't talk to anybody about it. And it's not me. It doesn't come from me. Or what's this obsessive fear? Or why every time I get in a relationship, this happens? Or why, I almost get the job? Or, like it just feels like something weird. It's just an extra weird thing that's going on, other than it just being a natural occurrence. Like, everybody knows that things don't go right. And, not everything goes right in life all the time. But there's just those times. And this type of person is the kind of people who walk around, I don't like her, I don't like him, so then they go home and do whatever, take the so-called fight to another round. So you don't even fucking know these people, they just don't like you for their own reasons. And I'm just here to tell you, a lot of these people are about to get their comeuppance. All right, so in any case, what she's harnessing now, for me, it's often even better to get someone who knows how to do this, but some high angelic force or person who really knows. Actually, somebody's coming through. Who is this? Do they know her? Did you see this? Somebody's about to tear it down. And what I'm talking to you guys about is something that you won't see in the light. This is something that is in, we're behind the scenes. We're even kind of behind the scenes from even Meghan. Like Meghan doesn't even kind of know sort of what's going on. She knows something's wrong. She knows something is not, not an integrity, so she's got that feeling. But, again, when you don't operate in this kind of stuff, you kind of don't believe in it. And you kind of don't believe that other people would do it. And you kind of don't even believe it's possible. So she's kind of still there, but she has a lot of intuition. She's got actually now awakening to past lives. And this is probably why this is being allowed to actually happen to her. She, has a lot of lives or at least one really prominent, or two of the most really prominent ones where she actually, excuse me, served as some form of a high priestess or someone who's highly connected into these things. Or yeah, so I mean, she's got a team, but she's got somebody about to come through. I don't know who this person is, but they're about to give spiritual beatdowns, handing them out like somebody hands out freaking coupons at the corner of, or freaking circulars at the at the Rite Aid or the freaking Pathmark and what have you. So yeah, there's that, and the type of havoc that's going to happen. This is something that also gets accelerated and is able for her to unlock because she has finally released All of that low energy has been thrown at her. Ton of low energy, tons of people who are really, tons of people who are like, who've just been in droves, kind of like just hating. That's a lot of negative energy toward one person. You know what I mean? But if she weren't in the purity of who she is, she would be taken down. But she has a high level of belief here and the purity of her purpose or whatever. So she's kind of like those energies can't really do too much. This here onto her, it had to be stuck onto her, But yeah, it's like someone did some kind of cemetery ritual. I don't even want to really go into all of this crap. Whoever it is, yeah, I mean, they're just not an integrity. They're not that powerful, and but they're playing with forces that are, you know, and about to get that spiritual beat down. Like, it's just really, you shouldn't be playing with that. It's kind of like when you play, maybe, if you were able to understand how to manipulate a tsunami or manipulate hurricanes and things like that, and you sitting around playing around with those forces, and Mother Nature is like, no, and then you get caught up in all of that stuff. Like, this is kind of what's going on here. So I'm gonna close this out. She is definitely, I feel like they're going to end up moving at some point or spending a lot more time somewhere else. Let me ask a little bit more about that. Or they bought some other house or some other place somewhere else. I feel like, like they just paid for it. Yeah, I mean, this person's throwing stuff, of course, to stop her progress. So it feels like we might not hear about this because some of their plans might have gone a little awry because of this kind of work that they've done. This other person, this outside person. Whatever the case is, the church, they kind of know how to deal with that just a little bit, but she really needs a root worker. That's what she really needs. Lord. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Like Charlemagne would say, she needs a good root worker. All right, so let me see what's going on here. Let me get this out of here. Whatever the case, overall and in the end, at the end, the last card over here, their future, the Ten of Pentacles. I apologize for however my hands may be looking horrifying, but yeah, I don't know why. So anyway, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles is here. Wow. Yeah, this person's trying to drum up some, this person's trying to be all in her household, trying to create stuff, but it's not working because her household and her belief system is so strong, and she's in very good sync and high vibration naturally. But I don't know if some trees came down around their house or something, but whatever, or some kind of issue, some kind of, why do I hear this weird kind of like land issue or whatever, somehow some kind of land issue. I don't know why that would even make sense. Maybe it's not for their home in Frogmore or something like that, but some kind of landline issue or whatever. And it's because of what the sister is doing. She's trying to cause like a lot of problems. Excuse me. But let's see what's going on. Let me see what's going on with you guys. What? Merry Christmas, Dee Dee. Seriously, come up and yeah, I mean, it's just time for people to start being responsible, and I think, it's like, I don't know why people were able to get away with so much for so long, but it's like, it's kind of like the universe is like, you know what, actually, I see kind of why it's so out of balance the way people have been able to just kind of use spiritual license and all of this and just do whatever. It's just become so off balance now that, the universe is like, look, all right, so exactly, Coco. The royal family is rooted in magic, but yet and still, she still needs a good worker. Oh my God. Oh, there's a convergence of legal. Yeah, Dee Dee. Hmm. Oh, um. Oh, so are you saying she did come out with a Christmas card? I didn't pay attention because I thought that they didn't come out with one this year so far. Anyway. Hmm. Yes. I'm sure her ancestors are definitely there, but who came forth in the reading was like not like relatives, not like ancestral relatives. These are like guides from high level. These are people who, you know, if they were standing even 7 miles away and you were dark, like either you would be cleared of your darkness because it can't even be tolerated in their presence from that far away, or you would just be destroyed. That is, these are divine high beings that she who are coming forth and who that person is. But yeah, no, her ancestors are there as well. Like she's got a strong background. Also too, she has those two past lives as a priestess as well, I saw. So let's see. So the Daily Mail sent stuff to her charities. Maybe that's also what that Eight of Wands was in reverse. So some false thing was sent on behalf of her to her charities, some false Christmas card. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely feel like the comeuppance is coming up for sure with this justice card and everything. Like, you know, I think there's some big things that are going to happen in multiple ways. I do think that whatever that case she had, I feel like I'm seeing that again, that she's going to win that case or something like that, that lawsuit that she had going. Because here I just see also with the justice card. Will you bugger off, please? Thank you. Sorry, there's some kind of ant or something. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I feel like, again, Taste of Honey. Yeah, I mean, these are like also, I started explaining this before because she's aligning herself so well with high level forces. She's purifying, shedding. So just by law of divine right and attraction, like the universe is just aligning, and it's kind of like the way you would see sort of like in the movie Inception where things are bending and stuff like that. Like so much law, so much physics, and so much spiritual beatdown for these other people because just of how she's clearing herself, but there is definitely some spiritual crap against her. I've never seen this before. Damn, she's really going through it. You guys will never hear about this though, but I'm sure of it. Okay. So what about Harry? I mean, I haven't seen much about him. Excuse me. So we have the King of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles. These people are all in reverse. We have the Five of Cups in reverse, and we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Harry is like in the middle of something with William, I think. Something went down this week. And I think maybe there was a bit of a discussion as well as to why they weren't spending. Here goes the Queen of Swords, which has been showing up as you know who, Kate. So the King of Swords has been showing up as William in my readings for the last 3 or 4 readings as well. Here's the Queen of Swords. So I definitely think there's some real problem where Kate is like, she's like ground zero, you know what I mean? Like for what the issue is as well. And I think Harry is a little bummed to not have spent Christmas with the family, but he's like also like, F this. You know what I mean? And William doesn't seem to be accepting his responsibility in certain things. That's what this looks like to me. And you know, Harry is like over it. He's just getting over it right now. And it's a shame to say, but I think there's just been a couple of really rude words and stuff like that. I mean, Harry gets down sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like don't mess with Harry. They've had some really nasty words between the two of them, you know, and this one isn't helping here. She's very difficult. I don't know that this one isn't Kate, like showing up as a Queen of Swords. Like, she's been very, very difficult. What is her deal? I'm just reading what Taste of Honey. Everybody just read what Taste of Honey wrote. That's the last comment on there. It's hilarious. All right, so I feel like I'm guided to take these 3 cards. I think they're kind of like, don't make me shuffle them out toward you again. So yeah, here we go again with the 4 of Wands, which is really good. So overall, I mean, he, at the end of the day, he is in good standing. He is in Harry. He's in good standing overall. But I mean, he really, to me, is having like a real issue with William. I think William is being like really immature. He is like, hold on. He's just being very, very obstinate. Like, there's an issue. I feel like, you know, Harry's got the pentacles, so he's in a work kind of mode. William is upside down. He's blocked. I mean, Harry is also upside down, but I can't get into why I read stuff the way I do. too much. Not that you were asking, but I'm just saying, I'm just going to leave it, okay? Oh, shit. Sorry. What the hell that was? So annoying. Too much freaking wildlife out here right now. The hell's going on? Oh, okay. Let me just try to get recomposed here. Damn, something's like flying up in my face. Du, 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 du. Oh. Oh, now, Dee Dee, I just read your comment. Now, is Archie the card with Archie on it? Is that a real card from them, or is that the one that has just been jacked and photoshopped and all this? I'm assuming it's not, but I just want to I don't want to assume. Kate is, the way she shows up, she's just really difficult. She feels very entitled in a lot of ways, but there's also like, she's not like raging bitch. You know what I mean? Like, but she is really passive aggressive. And I think the more time, the reading I saw last week, like she went off in front of the queen and was just really, getting emboldened. That's how I feel. Like she's just, oh, it was real and then was Photoshop. How though? Was it distorted, or was there something added to it? Did they add Meghan and Harry? Did they add people? Did they add something weird? Sorry, I'm sure you're probably like, I did not ask to be typing all this. This is what you sign up for when you come to Invite the Light readings. This is what you sign up for. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm going to go back to yeah, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this before, like there's some of her ways. Here again, I'm really feeling like this is her again. The Lady in the Garden, which usually is a very progressive card. And by the way, for those of you who I was saying the Empress last reading was sitting on her ass, that card is usually a very powerful card. But I read cards a certain way. There's certain cards that can negate cards. There's certain cards that can skew the meaning of other cards. So that's why that card was read a certain way. So I just, in case you guys ever saw the Empress again and you see people describing it as a really powerful woman, which it usually is. For instance, for Selena Gomez, she pulls that card all the time. Like she shows up as the Empress, like she must be super powerful. She's always willing to look at herself for deep self-development from her cards that I've read. For those Selena Gomez fans who are always asking me to do a reading for her. But with Kate, the way the Empress shows up is not, it's almost like the Empress in reverse. So in any case, I do think that there was something done where whatever kind of breaky break thing that she was trying to get away with, because it does show a lot and the readings, like her work ethic. There's something done there where she's going to have to work a little bit more, or whatever loophole she was getting away with to kind of finesse stuff and make it look like she was doing work or whatever, and she's taking like a break, or she's dragging ass on something. And excuse me, that is coming to an end. So everyone's going to be exposed now, and it's funny these cards kind of land over William as well. For one thing, there is something that is ending between the two of them. I don't know what. I don't want to get into all of that because I don't want to be out here all night. So I probably will do like an extended reading or something like that. But I'm cold. Let me take a look at this and see. Oh. Oh, that's so cruel, Dee Dee. That's just such crazy nonsense. let's just talk about that. I'm actually happy uh to spend a few moments with you guys here on Christmas talking mess about this. I really think my life should be doing better stuff than this damn gossip shit, though, I have to say. But, you know, I mean, you guys, it's fine because you guys are just watching this and just enjoying it or whatever. But I mean, I'm doing this stuff all the time. So let's see just a little bit of the tree there. And let's see. I'll turn back the cards because I know you guys can't see. So, oh yeah, they don't want to tell me. They don't want to tell me about the media thing. They just want to tell me more stuff about. There are some lies and some manipulation around the work with Kate, but that's going to, I think. What is this? Hold on. Yeah, I mean, here goes the Chariot upside down again. She's like, she's not doing shit. All right, the Magician's upside down. The Hanged Man, which I always tell you guys, always comes up when we're talking about Kate. Freaking Hanged Man always coming up. All right, so and with the Ten of Wands here, also just being very, very difficult and obstinate. And, you know, there's something else where a project is being held up and, you know, for whatever reason, I don't know, does Harry and Meghan have to get her approval for some things now? Is there some kind of thing that they need to get her approval for, because it just feels like she's like dragging ass on that and blocking it based on her power, you know? And there's just a lot of negative manipulation going on. This sister as well, she's about to get bitten hard. Oh God, yeah. Let me get the rest of the information from these cards, but I just needed to clear that out. This is so. So, yeah. And then the news, as far as the media is concerned, as far as the media is concerned as well, I think the lies are going to continue, but there may be some kind of order and authority for them to stop. So I don't know if that's coming down through the court or outright through the. I keep wanting to say church in place of the Kensington Palace for whatever reason, but yeah, I think they're going to get called out on that. But there are some issues with William and Harry as well. Like, not good stuff. And William showing up here is the King of Swords in reverse with the Ten of Swords in reverse next to it. And Harry showing up here is the King of Pentacles, the one who's productive but feeling unproductive, and the one who's been trying, I think. And this one with the swords in reverse, feeling very, you know, sort of manipulative. And then with the wife over here with the Queen of Swords, like, they're very freaking difficult, you know, and being very nasty. And so I think I'm going to do an extended reading on that, but I think not right now because, like I said, I'm freaking cold. I want to get out of here. Yeah, so does anybody have any quick questions? Real quick, I'll probably do this in I don't know, in a little while or whatever. So I'll come back, I'll put the link in for you guys who are interested, but you know, check back in maybe 2 hours. Yes, I know they have status over them, but do you know specifically, Didi? Because you usually know everything. You usually know the juice. And then also, where's Jules? Jules is not here. Jules usually knows as well. Is there some kind of royal protocol in place right now that, as far as their patronages are concerned, that Somehow Kate and William need to sign off in the advancement of some of the projects that Meghan and Harry are working on. I know that was like a whole mouthful. Because it looks like Kate is like holding off on approving something that they need to get on with. But I mean, whatever she's doing now, Michelle in chat. Hi, I think you asked me the other day. Maybe I could do a little something for them right now, real quick. Just just give me a few minutes here. I don't honestly don't think I'm gonna do a real big reading on them too much. I'm just not spiritually guided to. That's what's going on here. But I'll ask something briefly so you can get some info on them. Let's see. Kind of what? Oh yes, maybe that's what it is as well. Maybe she's leveraging something like, oh well, you guys are overlapping something, but I think it's not true. Or anywhere she said she's been doing a lot of work on something and they've been waiting for her approval to move forward on something. It ends up being found out that it's not true. She hadn't been working on it. There's some big lie. There's something there. And can I ask you guys if you all have been enjoying this reading and watching it consistently for over 5 minutes, can you please do me a favor and hit the like button? That would be greatly appreciated. Let me see. Yep, even if you guys are watching on your phone, it'd be greatly appreciated for you to just take a moment and hit the like button. Because you know what? Just the way you enjoy my videos, I sometimes need your help as well. If I'm going to be doing this and stuff like that, I need to reach audiences, and it's just not going to with 4 likes. Thank you very much. Much appreciation. If you guys can keep hitting the like button and taking a moment, I know sometimes it's difficult on your mobile phone if you're watching on your mobile, but it'll be super appreciated. And, you know, honestly, it just allows me to spend more time doing lives, you know, because originally on my other channel, just sidebar so you guys understand what was going on. Well, I have over 5,000 subscribers on my other channel. This was just a play channel. I think I told you guys that before. This was just like something I was playing around with because I didn't want to like mix up the theme over there. I was doing one kind of reading and I didn't want to keep doing Meghan readings mixed up with the regular stuff. So I just threw them on this channel. I created this channel or whatever. But when I noticed I started doing YouTube lives, you know, quite a few of my videos used to get 20,000 views or at least nothing under 4,000. You know, it'd be very rare, you know, and then when I started doing lives and stuff like that, like my videos stopped getting rotation and it was a lot less views and it was just, you know, so that's why I say if you can help out with the likes, that's really, really great because it helps me to be able to do this more. Otherwise, I'll be like, I can't really waste my time on lives and stuff like that. All right, so thank you very much. For anyone else who can hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated. So let me just take it. And thank you so much, Coco. Yeah, I don't mean to make it seem like I don't feel appreciated or anything like that. I mean, I feel good. And I mean, I know sometimes I sound like kind of bitter. But you know, when I show up to these readings, like I'm putting my energy all in it. You know, I'm tired after these readings. These readings, they drain you. They just seem like, you know, I think for some people who don't know, like you're just throwing out cards and whatever, but it's a lot of energy that goes into this. And not as with anyone else, you want to see the things that you invest in personally with your energy and drive. You want to see it grow, you know. And I appreciate you guys, you know, showing up. And there's so many of you who have been supporting this channel for so long, such as Dee and Coco and Jules and other folks who I probably am overlooking right now. Yes, thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, and I would like to just, show up and put in the work, and just the universe meet me back, and that type of thing. So, in any case, I appreciate the likes, and let's take a moment just to answer another question. It does not have to do with William and this whole in-depth thing, because it is in-depth. I'm gonna have to do another reading on it, so I'm just gonna do an extended. But does anybody else have any quick question that I can answer? And then I'm just gonna do that Chad and Michelle thing for that young lady who asked, or viewer who asked. Wait, what? What's one? Oh, one big prediction for the new year? No, I don't think Meghan is pregnant. I don't think so, and I don't think so for a few reasons. They are processing so much right now. I think if she keeps in this energy that I saw her in today, I think that she will go on to want to have her second child sometime this year, like be pregnant this year, because I do feel like they are on a little bit, I don't want to say a schedule because that sounds crude. It's not like that, but they do have a plan, and they want to have this certain timeline. Let's put it like that. Predictions for the world. I don't have Cash App yet. Yes, I'm looking into it. I know one person who kind of didn't have a great experience with it. So I'm just kind of looking into it. But I'm so sorry. I am so busy. Like, I just need to get time and check into Cash App. So I will, though, just give me like, it's coming. And I prefer not to work with PayPal. I actually don't like PayPal. They get on my last nerve, like with the way that they are with fake ass customers and troublesome people. And then people, there's certain people who don't deserve to be having access to the products for like real reasons, not just arbitrary reasons, like just real reasons. And there are people who order stuff and then cancel, and then they just say whatever to PayPal just to get their money back. And it's like, hold on, dude, why did you even order this? Like, and you don't even give it like 7 hours or even 4 hours, like in the middle of the night. I'm talking about, like, you don't even allow business hours to occur, and you're already saying, oh, didn't provide the service, didn't do this. Like, who needs that? Who needs for you to be enabling people to make it seem like you're not showing up in integrity in your business? So I just, I just don't like PayPal to a certain extent. And I'm only using it because I haven't had the time to find anything better. But I do prefer to work with Square, I think, going forward. And if I can do Cash App, that would be great, because I know a lot of people are doing that. I was also looking into Google Pay, GPay. I mean, does that sound good for you guys, GPay? Excuse me. Okay, so this is damn interesting. And I know, Coco, you're going to be guilty of keeping me out here for a minute. And it's okay, by the way. I mean it in a good way. Awesome. So there's this thing in the world we have noticed, I'm sure you've noticed, where the leadership, the G8 summit, G9, G14, G7, G0, you just notice a lot of unprofessional behavior and just uckery, like in one form or another. Whether people are reacting to ignorance or if it's just a bowl of ignorance itself, just manifesting itself at at these summits. Um, and I think there's this energy in the collective where people are tired of this. You know, it's like, yeah, I'll get my reality show on my reality shows. I don't need my reality show on my politicians or in the politicians of our country's allies, so on and so forth. And I think people are a little tired of it. So I do think that there's going to be a country, and I would dare say it would be England, France, and Germany who will be moving together. There's a chance it might not be England, but I think it may be. I definitely feel like, France and Germany or something like that, or some country. There's also, and one of Trump's readings, not years ago, or maybe it was like a year ago, I said that there was going to be like China, Russia, and like, I don't know who wants to pair up with China and Russia, but no disrespect, I'm not saying that, but I'm just trying to say I don't know, like, spiritually. I'm trying to figure it out. But it was like something like that, and it whatever it is, it's like the United States is going to be left out of quite a few things. Certain other people feel here, especially in the state of Florida, that the leadership in this country has been nothing short of amazing. And that, people think that they are having the greatest example of decorum and in the world, where in fact that I think we have more leaders showing out now than ever because of just one really bad example. It's okay to be upset sometimes. It's okay to have an attitude. It's okay to disagree with stuff. It's okay kind of not to be 100% perfect, But just sticking to levels of professionalism, I think, is going to be something that's going to be called for a little bit more. I do think that there will be countries leaving the United States behind now because of so much clownery and fuckery, that people just, like in Trump's words, just laughing at us, laughing at the United States and laughing, and, have been sensing like, it's just that stage. It's just that stage. So, I mean, I just feel like there's going to be a rise in a new superpower, but some of these powers they really need to like get faith in themselves. I think Russia is going to be doing Putin. Like, I don't even want to talk about Putin. Why the fuck is he showing up? Putin is up to some very Putin-esque things. Give me 1 second here. I do feel like the international court at The Hague will be involved in a lot of shit. Like, I just think The Hague, like, I want to say the UN, but no, I think people are a little bit tired of the shit, and the UN is not able to enforce things. And I think they're really going to start hauling people into the international court at The Hague. And I think there are going to be a series of things going on there. Because with the magician upside down, there's just a lot of weird manipulation. I think that this is somewhat world currency, this reign of, this reign of screwery that I think we as normal citizens don't even see, that ends up around the currency exchange, trade, gross domestic product, the actual value of each country's currency. Because I think some people's countries' currencies have been destabilized, have been falsely devalued. This is what I'm trying to say. But I know that the currencies have been destabilized You guys could actually Google, like through the IMF, through the International Monetary Fund, when a country takes out a loan and stuff like that, and they force this country to take in a whole bunch of imports, and it just really messes up the economy and all this. And so, I mean, there's these systems that, you know, a lot of people are going to get called out. So I do think there's going to be some court stuff getting involved. Now, when we ask what's going to happen in the world, that's coming through kind of my consciousness and my style of cards and my guide. So, you know, they're going to talk about stuff like that. So there's no, you know, no gossip or anything came up. So let me see what's going on. I see you, Coco. So let me see. Let me just take this really quickly over to this young lady who wanted to know about Chad and Michelle. I mean, I kind of looked it up just briefly because I was like, a Chad and Michelle together. They're Michelle is from Destiny's Child. Um, And then Chad is like a guy that she met on a spiritual religious retreat, and he's like a pastor or something like that. And then they had this reality show or whatever. Excuse me. They had this like reality show, and she just really wasn't ready for the relationship overall. I saw that in the cards, and you could kind of see that in her treatment of him as well. Like, you know, she just intimacy levels, you know, being okay with intimacy. And I'm not talking about sexual intimacy. I'm just talking about intimacy. And speaking of that, they hadn't been intimate, and they were not going to be intimate until they got married. So let's ask a little bit about Chad and Michelle. It looks like they do have some communication. It looks like they may have some friends in common. But I don't really think much is really going on at the end of the day. I don't know why. I get his family doesn't really like the idea of them getting married. What is this? I apologize, but I'm not really got it to read on them. Two of Wands. What may make that happen? I feel like if this is Chad, the King of Wands upside down, like the plan to the marriage, you know, he ended them, you know, a while ago. And let me just see what this conflict is. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of don't see them really getting anything off the ground, to be quite honest, hon. I mean, I really don't feel like his family really necessarily likes her, celebrity or not. I don't think anything's going to change with this death card in reverse. Like, you know, it looks like they had a little something, like a little rekindling or whatever. And they may have promised to try again in some form or another, but I don't really see that kind of getting off the ground. There's a high priestess again. I think the cards are going back into Meghan, even though, yeah, the cards are like, we're gonna talk about Meghan. But anyway, so yeah, hun, that's what I see. All right, so now what's interesting? We're gonna do some more freaking world predictions because I had it with people at Christmas. You know, sometimes you're just like, damn it, I have had it with the damn Christmas. I don't mean Christmas itself. I don't mean in disrespect to Christ. Oh my God. I mean like what Charles Schultz was always talking about, the damn commercialization of Christmas. You know what I mean? The commercialization, the just false, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so Coco, you got me going now. You got me going. This is the Queen of Cups. Let me see something. That could be Diana, actually. Diana, what do you want to say? Let's make it really quick. Okay, Diana, hold on. Diana's dropping by. Look at this. Like some of the same cards come up. I knew they were trying to force a Meghan line, yeah. But Chad and Michelle, I was able to read it anyway. Kudos to me. I'm just kidding. I mean, just pay no attention. The economy for next year. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just finish through this really quickly because Queen of Cups came flying out. So, according to my conversation with Diana, like she was going to come in and say a little something more. Give me 1 second here. It's almost like she's like, please, I don't want people thinking that both Kate and William are bad people. I am working with Kate. I'm working with Kate right now. And there's definitely some development that needs to go on. And, the two of them had decided to try to work on their relationship because it is supported by the castle. Literally. Harry has tried to reach out. But with this justice in reverse and the world in reverse, like Diana, like, okay, so what she tells me then is I'm trying to get the highest possibility. So I'm going to ease these two out in their highest capacity with working with them in the highest realization of the situation. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, if they could get back together, she would try to do that, and only because it's what he's decided he wants to do based on the kind of pressure and support that he's been getting. It's AKA pressure, AKA, I mean, it's partially pressure, it's partially support. She does like Kate or whatever, but again, with this world card over it, like Kate doesn't complete things. Her work ethic again and again and again and again. There's a misrepresentation there. She also doesn't listen. She's really not trying to sleep with William, like for real. And I don't think really William is like really pressing that issue, but so I mean they're going to try with this, but I really, God, I mean I don't know where these cards are coming from. There's some kind of breakup, there's some kind of severance, there's some kind of something. So for now, I mean they're going to try, but I really feel like they're disconnected. I will read on this because for me to do this, I've got to like pull more clarifiers. I got to do a list stuff. It's going to take forever. I'm cold. I want to get out of here. It's going to take forever. So would somebody be kind enough to remind me to do an extended on this, like just write out, like the justice card is here in reverse. I suppose I could watch the end of this video again. And a world card, like these are not good cards. It's not good cards. So I don't know. Hold on 1 second. And what were they trying to say over here? I don't even know. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Again, I just see a difference in the work ethic. And I feel like people are trying to benefit off of the hard work of others from before. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me. It's like, well, I'm part of the royal family, so I can just relax. Excuse me. Like, the queen does not believe in that. The queen is like, she shows up as the emperor. And the queen is like, But she will be the one. I told you guys this in a reading a long time ago. She'll be that one too, like back in the day, to be like Frances Underwood and go down and handle her own dirty business when she needs to. Like, she has no problem showing up and doing that for some of the most grimiest jobs too. So guys, again, I'm just going to remind you, if you've been watching this video for more than 5 minutes and you have been enjoying it, please do me the favor of hitting the like button to show YouTube that this video is actually appreciated, that this channel is appreciated, and that you don't have to work so hard to find my videos, that YouTube can just put them on your timeline. So if you can hit the like button, that would be great. For those of you who are on your phones, I know that is kind of hard for you to do, but if you can take the time and do that, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, and so we are yeah, guys, if you can hit the like button, that would be great. Thank you very much for that person who gave the like. I will do an extended, but not here. I will. I gotta go do it inside. I'm outside in case you guys didn't notice. But I've got no tea, no tea, no hot cocoa. Freezing. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe you're right. Dee Dee, I'll try that again. But you know what it is? I never know when I'm doing it live. I never know. I'm just like, oh my God, I have time. Woo, let me do one. I should try to schedule them. I'll try to do that and I'll see what happens. But even with my announcements, like the other day, I sent like a post, like the verbal post or whatever. And I was like, nobody got that message. I'm telling you, like YouTube is like on some old extra stuff. All right, give me a second here to readjust here. So we are now asking about the major world predictions. Just need to say that quite a few times just to get them off of Harry and Meghan. Major world predictions. Okay, major world predictions. Never saw it. Exactly, that's what I mean, Diddy. That's exactly what I mean. I don't think anybody saw it. And there's like, I think 1,200 followers or something like that now at this point. And there was like literally one like on there. Yeah, I should get out of here soon. It's like dark. Excuse me. Am I really on this live for like an hour and 13 minutes? Really, guys? Really? Nobody was going to say anything? I feel like there are going to be some delays in CHIT. I think that's what this is. I think there's some people like fighting behind the scenes to make, and I feel like we already kind of know this though. I feel like there's some people fighting behind the scenes to delay this Brexit thing. And I feel like it will get done. There's the world. It will get done, but I just feel like, there are definitely some things, and I don't know about Boris Johnson or whatever. I don't want to start insulting people's leaders and stuff like that. So no disrespect to England. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at the cards and I'm going, I don't know about how he operates behind the scenes. He really seems like I hear this word. I heard in a movie a long time ago, a shifty little bleeder. Like, I literally heard those words from that movie. I feel like he's shaking down the crown somehow. And I feel like he is feeling himself just a little bit too much. You know what I mean, guys? I mean, I just feel like he's like flexing, as you younger people would say, flexing, flexing. And I think he might be a little bit deluded and not seeing that people are kind of stabbing his purpose in the back. But you know what's very interesting? I heard about Boris Johnson today, that when he was 21, he wrote an article about Brexit without knowing that it was Brexit. But he was saying it would be great if England, something to this effect, if England were sort of on its own as a separate entity, such as, did he say like such as Canada and the United States are, or something like that, from Europe, so that the entities would be Britain alone or England alone and Europe. So whatever the case, it was very strange. But he had written, it was like an article he'd written as like an associate editor or assistant editor or something. Does anybody know about that? I have not seen The Great Hack. I don't know what that is. Sounds interesting. Yeah. Taste of Honey. I thought when you said, "Oh no, don't freeze," I thought you were talking about the internet, but I think you were talking about me. Now I'm like, oh, maybe Taste of Honey was talking about me. Give me 1 second here to get rid of these endless reminders that pop up. It's ridiculous. Jesus. Even old ones I've like freaking completed, like popping up on the screen all at once. Yeah, I don't even know how. I don't understand how the roving goes, because that's what it feels like to me. Like it's a roving of prime ministers within. Is it the House of Lords? I'm assuming it's the House of Lords. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know crap about but I don't understand like how without an election, even though I think he just got elected like last week, like officially or something like that. I'm not totally sure. Anyway, yeah, there's that for Brexit. So let's go on. It will get done though. And I think it's a good thing, according to this card, I think it's a good thing for England. Excuse me. What's funny? I think Kate in her mind has some kind of idea that she's like, and I'm going to be leading as the lone leaderess of England, of a sovereign solo England. I think she really sits back and thinks about this shit. I'm going to be, wow, never mind this nonsense. All right, so, okay, you guys, thank you for hitting the like button. For anyone else who can take some time to hit the like button, that would be fantastic. It'd be a super help for all of us. Helps you get my videos faster. Helps me be able to make more videos without feeling I'm just devoting time to a delusional hobby. Okay. What else is going on here? Yeah, so I mean the Queen is there. What's her feeling about this? The Queen is awesome. Like she's such a smart, cool kid, right? No disrespect by me saying that. But I mean, when I say that, I mean that she can just put on any type of mask. She can get it there and lace up her boots, and she can put on her crown, or she can put on a cloak. She can put on rubber boots and go work down and shovel the river, the muddy river. You know what I mean? Like the Queen is the one who you want on your team when the ship is going down, honey. So she sees a lot about this Brexit thing. I don't have time to talk about all her thoughts about this thing. I do think that she thinks Boris is stupid. And I think she thinks that the leadership overall, a bunch of, what do I hear? Bumbling morons, bumbling idiots, you know. But she shows up and she's nice and she treads lightly. She's masterful like AF. Masterful, this woman. Masterful. This woman is something else. When England is, I think she, well, let me just see. Let me see. What is this? Man, this is getting interesting. Everybody's enabling me to stay out here. I feel like I have no support to leave. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being so bitchy. I'm just so kidding. Six of Wands and Page of Pentacles again. She sees Kate wanting to really be at the forefront of this like Brexit thing as a queen, as this. Kate thinks this is like a goddamn game. Like, she does not know what it comes into, like being a queen, like really being a queen. The queen has actually prevented like weird kind of background coup attempts within this structure. Don't anybody try to disagree with me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. Sorry. I don't know. You know, sometimes I have to tell you guys, sometimes it's spirit that gives me all this attitude. I mean, I have a lot of attitude in general. Like, I can get a lot of attitude, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes I've learned to kind of tone it down, even though it doesn't seem like it. But yeah, sometimes people, the cards are like, let them know. And Kate is like, how would I even explain? She is like a piece of cotton candy that will get tumbled in the, you know, earth-size tumble dryer of politics, masquery. It's not even a word, but you know, a lot of masking, fakery, maneuvering. You know, this girl thinks this is a freaking game. You know, she thinks this is a Barbie. All Barbie has to do is put the crown on her head and just sit her ass on freaking Tuffet. Oh my God. I don't know who is kind of, you know, sometimes I get attitude of telling you it's like a spiritual like line of energy. Somebody is feeling like really annoyed about it. But the queen recognizes that as well, and get out of here, man. And what is she trying to do about this? Give me 1 second here, because there's a lot going on. It's some combination between letting Kate kind of trip herself up a little bit and letting her into the political arena a little bit so she can get eaten by the wolves a little bit, and just so she can get humbled that she doesn't know shit. And I mean, I'm literally like, I don't know, Kate, and I have no reason to take that personally like that. It sounds like it's real personal, but again, I'm channeling like a lot of energy. I'm actually really holding back from cursing a lot more. Somebody's mad. Somebody is mad. So there's that. Other world's predictions. The year of the woman, honey. The rights to a woman's body. There's going to be, it's going to come on an international level. There's a slow build because the Me Too movement is here in the United States. The Me Too movement is also in Japan. And I'm sure it's elsewhere too, but I mean, you know. And some of this is also because the old feminine structure as well in the ancient civilizations on here where women actually led. And by the way, this is not a conversation to put men down like, oh, women are the best. It's a women's world. Rah, rah. It's not that. But this is, when I talk about this, I talk about women returning to the power of their full internal power, which includes a masculine power, but it also includes standing next to a masculine power in equality. I hate to use that word, so overused and so, it's just so, you know, to the point where I get the word equanimity, but I'm not gonna lie, I need to look that word up. Exactly. The queen has never been sitting down doing anything. And as a matter of fact, I will tell you here, the queen always, without a doubt, always shows up as the emperor. She shows up as a man, like an experienced warrior who has achieved leadership through hard-earned battle, through hard-won battle, through wits, through perseverance, through sustained effort over one's self, as well as being able to rule too many. God, my brain works too fast sometimes. Like, as well as the organization and the delicate dance of maintaining order and rallying people to believe in you and to pass their own insecurities and fears that don't allow them to lead in the same way by any means. And, you know, this woman is so much. She is so much. She never shows up as anything. Every once in a while, she'll show up as the Queen of Swords, but she never shows up as anything other than the Emperor from day one, from the giddy up, from when I did my readings on her. I have not really watched The Crown, no. Very early on, I watched one or two. The woman who played young Elizabeth or younger Elizabeth, like, I don't know why I don't really dig her. I saw her in a few because I actually like British period dramas, even though I haven't been watching them a lot lately. But I really like them. And then she was in one or two other things that I've seen her in, and I was like, oh, whatever. And so I don't know. I have to try to revisit it again. Yes, she does command a lot of respect, but there is, you know, there's an entire mastery. Again, I tell you, this woman she's stopped coup attempts within Britain, and she's, you know, excuse me, she's not supposed to do that kind of thing. She's not supposed to be involved, but the way she plays the long game. She plays the way. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you ever seen a samurai film, the way, as opposed to just being very, very direct, there's like a way to go about stuff and like bring people around. I don't know. This is the way. If her style were to be described, it would be something definitely like Confucian. It would be a little Machiavellian. It would be, definitely a little combination of those. Um, hmm. And who's the other one? Who's the other one? There's another component to that, but I can't think of it right now. But excuse me. So that is what will be going on as well. Um, because women actually want to be back in the feminine. I think a lot of women are tired of being in the masculine because men are in the masculine and they are never in the feminine, which leads everyone to be in the masculine and never in the feminine because everybody's always on the defense. Everybody's always initiating, pushing, fighting, forcing, defending. And there's a type of world that's going to be it's wanting to be developed where people are now being a little more connected to their life's purpose. So they don't want all of this pushing, forcing, paycheck to paycheck type of deal. It's very interesting. I have traveled quite a bit throughout the world. Here I go telling my personal business again. And one thing that I've noticed, whether it's London or it's Singapore or even sometimes, other countries, I'm not going to get all into it, but there is, or New York, which I know very well. There's a look that people have on the train, coming home from work, or even going to work, that does not change from continent to continent. And the system with which people are able to have self-expression in their life while being in integrity. And I'm not talking about being a slouch. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in handouts. I believe in helping people to become self-sufficient, but I don't believe in handouts. I mean, maybe every once in a while people need a helping hand, but not, this is not a world where things should be handouts. So I'm not talking about that, but there's going to be this whole discussion in the world where, there's this thing where people are breaking down and, there's this opioid epidemic in the United States, and it's mirroring the crack epidemic actually some years ago. And, systems are crashing. People have lost a lot of money over the years, even though the economy seems generally stable now and stuff like that. But Trump doesn't know what the hell he's damn doing. Sorry, sidebar. I'm just saying from the cards here because I was just thinking about, let me just comment on Trump really quickly. He's just doing shit. And I mean, there's no plan. There's no rhyme or real reason to anything. That's crazy. 9 of Swords. Anyway, so, I think there's going to be this movement more where, it's beginning to start with the feminine reclaiming herself, the feminine within the masculine reclaiming his self by seeing himself in the feminine here on earth and starting to respect the boundaries a lot more. But I do think that movement is coming in, and it's not going to be skewed by words like feminism, and not that feminism is a bad word, but it's just become a word where people allow it to be something that is allow it to be received as something that is like repulsive, repugnant, anti-male type deal. Butch, they would say, no disrespect. I'm just saying like that prejudice words, type of thing. But It's not, it's more going to transfer into love of self, respect for self, respect for sentient beings. Like I hear that, respect for, divine, just divine rights, and that's coming into order. And it has to, there's also a connection to the feminine in the early ancient societies as well. So sorry, I know I was supposed to be commenting on that and I kind of went off. But what I will say is, if you guys haven't seen the video I did on Notre Dame, definitely see that one. Thank you guys for the likes. If you guys have been watching this video as well, I know some of you are watching on your phone, but I appreciate if you would hit the like button because it really does help YouTube to get this video to you faster. So, and it helps me, by the way. Wouldn't you want to help me? So let's see. Her half sister. Barbara, not sure what you're referring to. You're talking about Meghan, maybe? Oh, interesting. Coco, is that something that you learn is Oh, yeah, because I see you saying you love The Crown. Is that something that you saw on The Crown as well? Because William actually, as you maybe type the answer, William actually, like, when the hell am I getting out of here, people? William actually talked about the things that his grandmother had to go through. Did you guys see that Mary Berry interview where Kate actually did not allow William to touch her shoulder, but she like swiveled away with a smile on her face? Yeah, exactly, Dee Dee. Not handouts, but a fair system. A system that enables people to thrive properly. A system that allows for people to be in the highest form of themselves by giving them access and proper rights to education, and creating taxpayers, and not creating mass prisoners and people who fall through the system, and mass miseducation, and then blaming those people, and there's the whole blame game all the way around. Or blaming people who work 2 and 3 jobs already in the United States, and then, um, you know, making minimum wage $8 an hour. And I get it. Like, businesses sometimes can't afford to pay $15 an hour, and even $15 an hour is a shit. I mean, come on. But I'm just saying, like, there's that for the businesses as well. Like, that's something that the government probably should be helping out with overall as well, supporting businesses and being able to pay people enough money so they don't have to live in their car. It's not funny, but I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm going to ask for how about like some gossipy world predictions? Like, give us the juice. I experience, like, we don't do that over in invite like meetings. Oh, come on, tell us something. What's going on with Trump in Queen of Pentacles? Oh my God, Melania's leaving him. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what this is. This feels like this is still more commentary on Kate, but let me just see something else. Yeah, it feels like the same cards. Same cards! Oh my God. More commentary on Kate. All right. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. All right, one fell out. He is not a nice man. He is emotionally unstable right now. I think, sorry. I'm just looking at this card and I'm like, he is so emotional right now behind the scenes. Something's going to happen. I think on a world platform, though, I mean, what is this? What is this? I mean, I guess he also just really feels like, um, this situation is out of his control for the first time in his life, really. And he's had to come to grips with, he's been like this. I get the word fake, the words fake God, Because, I mean, he was like, I could see how a person like him could kind of get confused. And you could see how he got confused because he didn't understand the structure or the order of the United States. And I knew he didn't when he asked Hillary Clinton, oh, why did it just change I forgot, it was some issue on a tax issue. Why did you, as a senator, why didn't you just change that? I was like, does he not understand the system of government? You can't just change stuff like you're a queen and you just order off with her head, off with his head. Like, you have to go through a whole system of people, of 99 other people who probably don't even agree with you in order to get maybe one thing passed. And then you have to deal with the president as well. And then maybe you get to fight it out in the judicial system eventually if it's illegal. I mean, I don't know. I see him like making ridiculous friends. There's another woman. How he's been able to keep that under wraps, I have no clue. He better watch his ass because I feel like this woman. How does this keep coming up? I'm about to take it out. I mean, I'm happy. This is the best card. This is like a great card. But I feel like he needs to watch his ass because some woman could be planted there to be like a spy. And this is the reason why people say get this damn man out, because he's such a bumbling fucking idiot and he's so over the top, who was it who said walk softly and carry a big stick? Was that Theodore Roosevelt? If you are too much and too aggressive, people don't take you seriously. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I just really feel like sometimes people feel like, when people make such a fucking bumbling idiot fool of themselves, like saying things like, oh my God, the people in Scotland are here going crazy over Brexit. They're so excited. They're so tired of it. And meanwhile, Scotland's like, hell no, we want to be in the EU or whatever. I'm not paid to be a politician, so don't even try it. Or my job, okay. I might not get everything right, but I tend to be pretty right. So, just saying dumb stuff like that and then being the butt of everybody's jokes, and just enabling people constantly, okay, I see what's going on here. Give me a second here. I really think to a certain extent, I mean, as Hillary Clinton, usually she's not in this. Usually he's dragging her to everything. This may be Hillary enjoying this shit right here. He is the gift that keeps giving. I feel like she is like karma has come around and it has paid like a fat orgasm. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just reading the cards. I'm translating what I see. Oh my God. So, yeah. And I mean, him having asked for her to be investigated by foreign powers. Russia, anyone listening out there? Can you please check into Hillary Clinton's emails? Break into her computer? Like, dude, I get that you don't like this woman. Yeah, maybe she is crooked. You know what I mean? Maybe she is. But you don't do that stuff. You don't engage fucking random AF people in the world to hack this woman who has held some of the highest positions in our land. This is our country. What are you doing? Like, okay, you don't like her, but what are you doing putting our country's security on the line just for your personal feelings against this woman? And if you don't like her, and if you really do feel she's crooked, then launch an official investigation against her. You know what that entails. So, I mean, I just really feel like she is just, I think she is really getting her nutrients to a certain extent. Yeah, that's what I feel. All right. So that's basically what's kind of going on with Trump. I don't know what's going to happen like with the impeachment and all this shit. I don't know. I just kind of want to get off him because I know I will be here forever. So is there one last question? Duchess of Cambridge has been working for many years, learning the ropes behind the scenes. Behind the scenes or in the forefront? I can't imagine it's easy for anyone to marry into the royal family. You know what? Yeah, we've been saying that for months. And no, her job isn't easy. In fact, she's had 3 kids in 7 years. So that means, you know, she's basically been pregnant for half the marriage and pregnant and breastfeeding for over half the marriage. So, you know, this doesn't take away from Kate as a woman. It doesn't take away from her as a mother. You know, but the cards are the cards, and they say what they say. And just as, you know, the queen gets represented by the emperor all the time. Meghan gets a lot of the 8 of Pentacles, and so does Harry. The Chariot a lot. Cards that move, people who work, people who are, you know, and Kate gets the Hangman a lot. And then there are issues and things like that. So, you know, if things were going on behind the scenes the way one would think, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, it would just come up in the cards. Like, I don't have any interest or need to read like that. In fact, I wish it was so much easier for Meghan, you know what I mean? It would be so much more exciting. Wasn't it exciting when the 4 of them sat there, when Meghan was first getting engaged to Harry, when they first sat? I forgot what world forum or what forum they were on, but the 4 of them sat there and everybody was like, oh my God, the fabulous 4. Nobody wanted them to be like, oh my God, they're not going to get along and hate each other. People were like, great things are going to happen. Oh my God, these are young people. They seem like they have a decent amount in common. You know, the wives seem great. And so, you know, I mean, there's just no reason to desire to want to read negatively about Kate. What comes up is what comes up. Oh, yeah. And, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, I saw Kate when she went to New York, when she went to Harlem, and her body language was like really off. I have lived in Harlem. I know how fantastic it is. I know the other side of Harlem as well. I know there's rich history, there's some amazing people. Like, I don't know, while we're talking about it, because I think people think of Harlem is like this place with burning trash cans and people shooting everything, and that's not the case, actually. In fact, it's some beautiful historic buildings that the rest of Manhattan has now discovered is only 2 train stops from the Midtown Manhattan, and that they could live there and have a lot more freaking space with real marble and fireplaces and real wainscoting and fine authentic wood, high ceilings, and a very high oil bill for a lot less money. So now there's a lot of gentrification there. And Harlem is, you know, something like what it was in the Black 20s. Something, you know, it's really getting to be really, really amazing. It's not a food desert anymore where people didn't have freaking, you know, like a bank to go to. I remember that Harlem where there's no fucking bank up there, and except for very, very small ones, and no supermarket that was decent as well. This is what people were dealing with until Clinton came in and did the empowerment zone thing. But then he was the reason he actually indirectly made the rents go up in Harlem when he got that office on 125th Street. So anyway, getting back to Kate, when she was there, she just looked like she is not the type of person like Meghan who will go in and really meet people. She is the person, she's not the one to be in the trenches. And that's okay. That is okay, because I personally don't know if you try to tell me I have to go down into a war zone where women have been affected and have fistulas and have been assaulted and all this shit. I mean, I don't know if I could do that. Like, this charity thing is hard. So, and then all the time, like, you have these crowds of people, you don't know who the hell they are, what they're carrying, what their intentions are for you, and they want to hug you and kiss you and touch all over you, like, and then give you flowers and stuff, and then give you big goods. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to trust you. Like, you just don't know. I mean, people are obviously good and they're well-meaning. I don't mean to sound like really negative, but I'm just saying that to illustrate, like, being in the limelight in that kind of capacity is not for everyone. And I've picked it up in her. It is not fully for her. Certain capacities of it is okay, but above all else, she comes across profusely as somebody who does not want to work. They want the title. They want the Barbie fairy tale. They want the fairy tale. That's really what it was that came out here tonight. And so there you have it. Feel free to disagree. And by the way, sorry, RRRB. I know you have been here before, and it is totally fine to have an opinion. In fact, I encourage it. Sometimes my reactions are just a little strong, so I don't want to discourage you from having a differing opinion or bringing up your point, because I don't mind that. I just mind when people are disrespectful about it. That's all. I don't mind people disagreeing, to be quite honest. So, I don't want you to be like not encouraged to say, I don't agree. So that's fine. All right. So let's just go on. People, I have to go. So, like, I'm just blaming y'all for what is this? Ukraine. My God. Putin is like another one. I mean, this war over in Crimea, I mean, there are things going on behind the scenes as well. Economic destabilization, what would you call it? Economic warfare. And there's going to be some kind of offer, because Ukraine needs money, I suppose, according to these cards. And I think because they've been propelled into a global situation, not that people didn't know about them before, but especially more so now. Two things. It makes them really vulnerable on one hand. They're getting offers from other countries. I get African countries as well. I mean, to give money and things like that, but for other favors or whatever. And then there's on the other hand, I just lost my train of thought, but damn. Sorry. I just can't seem to sometimes hold all of that information. 5 of Wands. Yeah, I think even there could be even like Putin have implanted, I'm like serious about this, planted like um agent provocateurs in the parliament. I think it's a parliament in Ukraine. But there's a lot of disagreements and stuff like that right now. And there's an offer. I think this man, no, I feel bad. What's his name? Volodymyr Zelensky. I think he seems like actually a nice and earnest man. I actually feel so fucking sorry for him looking at this card right now. I feel like I want to cry because I feel like he is like in. I feel like he is in. The tide is over his head, and he is just really trying to honestly come forth. I don't know this man from Adam. I don't know if he's truly honest, but he's showing up as that here. He's just trying to do something, and he's got all of these little parasites and things and nonsense going on, and he's really trying to protect his country here. And I don't think he's not getting any damn help. In fact, but I think that Putin is actually going to whatever meeting, because I think they actually did meet, but I mean, Putin is like, he shows up as the devil twice. Okay? Twice. Like, Putin is like, I don't even want to get into talking about whatever because, respect to Russia, you know, um, all that good stuff. I don't want to disrespect. I don't want it to seem like that, but Putin literally shows up as a devil 2 times, like twice he pulls that card. Zelensky is so much inferior and so naive in a lot of ways. And he's just, his best asset is his honesty, but it's also his worst. Also his Achilles heel. I really feel sorry for this man. I almost want to cry for him. I mean, is he really that? Yep, he really is that. Oh my God. I feel like he almost doesn't know what to do. I feel so sorry. Literally feel so sorry for this man. I'm ready to close the cards, like, so I don't end up crying. Like, it's really just that not that great. So if you can just say a prayer for him, because I feel like he's just on his own trying to figure this out. And the way that NATO is going, the way that the G8, G7, G8, G9, G0, the way it's going, I mean, it just isn't any real protection against Putin. And I almost said Crimea. I don't know if Crimea is like next to just turn, like Putin is making them turn on him or some shit. Hold on 1 second. There's a lot of spying. There's a lot of implants there. I really have an opinion of Putin, like from what is being done here is like, it's almost like viruses being injected, parasites being input. It's like nasty what I see here, like how he is weakening this government internally. Yet this comes up again. What is this card? All you want to do is just show me this again. Somebody could be leaving their royal position and royal post. I'm not exactly sure whom or who. There's the Empress again. I don't even want to deal with the same cards over again. So that's basically what's going on. Let's just ask a little bit more about Ukraine. Like, what's going to happen here with this offer? I think he's going to try to come forward with an offer. It's a small one. It's but I mean, he's doing his best. I think he really is. Seems like he's like a nice guy. It's gonna get shut down. Ugh, this is like, I'm not sure if Ukraine is going to get invaded any further. It almost looks like it will in a way, but There's like some weird, like I get like unfinished business there that Putin has. So he just, and I think, oh, I said economic destabilization. I think he's just trying to bring it down internally so he can then step in as like the ugly stepfather, ugly uncle you never want involved in anything. My God. I don't know. Here he goes. Here he goes, staring at you, Putin. Ugh. God. God help this man. Oh my God. So horrible. So that's all that I've got, guys. That's all I've got. I gotta get out of here. I'm freezing. And then I want to do these extended. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, again, all of that stuff, it feels as forced as it sounded. The way you said it, it feels really forced. Like, it's not natural. And I know, people like Kate, and it's unfortunate because if you ask me, like, people really like the qualities that they mention about her is because she hasn't shown anything personal, or she's she's there as the child bearer, and again, I say that not against her, but the way that people view women who are in leadership roles and what they don't want to tolerate and what they do want to tolerate is a bit annoying. And I'm not sticking up for Hillary Clinton, but here's another example. Like, Hillary's too damn smart. Like, I mean, what do you want? A dumb chick? I mean, what do you want? Who do you want to lead your country? Somebody who says, oh, open my door and I can see Russia from my house. Like, you like that. You know what I mean? Palin. But, I mean, the women who say things that don't make sense or who don't read a newspaper like Palin, you're for her. But somebody who's been educated, you're not for them. But then you say Obama doesn't have any education or experience. I mean, he's got education and a law degree doesn't this is what Palin says, by the way. I'm going off. She says, Obama's law degree it's not, something like this, is not conducive to American government. I'm like, excuse me, you silly chick. Like, since when has law, which is the basis of government, to enforce law, to create law and enforce it, since when would that not be relevant? The most relevant thing, the most relevant qualification to be a lawyer, to understand the law of the government. So I mean, people are just okay with women who come out and just say dumb stuff. This is the data that I've gotten. But somebody who has an education and who's a little bit too smart, don't like her, think she knows too much, And I'm not talking about scandals with Hillary. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about sheer intelligence alone and decorum. And that's the thing also, that people say about Kate. Oh, she's just so good with the children. She's ideal. No one ever says anything like, oh, she does so much work for charity and the changes that she's made and the things that the laws that she's trying to, I know that they can't really do anything with law, but I'm just saying, like, everything about her, except her individuality, is what's cheered on about how she shows up or how she doesn't show up too much. She's just a childbearer. Like, You don't even describe her as a strong mother, or anything like that. Like, oh, she's great with the kids, you know. So, again, this is nothing toward Kate or anything like that. But it's just like what people will tolerate. Whereas Meghan doing too damn much. You know what I mean? She just doing it. Meghan's just doing too damn much. Sit down, Meghan. Oh my God. She's at this charity, she's at this, I think if Meghan didn't come in, no sidebar, if Meghan just came in and married Harry, or honestly, I think they should just given it another year, given the public enough to know her and him together first, then I think people would have been able to digest it a little bit better, or not, based on really how nasty they are. It probably wouldn't have made a difference. But if she just came in and kind of took the route that Michelle Obama did, I'm not doing anything. Yes, I am a smart woman, but you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to work in the garden, and I'll do lady things, the stereotypical lady things, and then that's it. And that's why Michelle Obama didn't get so much flack. But Hillary Clinton, they were like, who is this smart chick? She's running the government, back in the 90s when Clinton was president and stuff like that. I think she's in there running the government, and who is she to come up with this universal healthcare plan? Because she did that as well. I will give her that. And this is not a campaign for Hillary Clinton, by the way. It just so happens those points come up, but this is not a campaign for Hillary. So anyway, yeah, I just find it very funny that people get outraged by people who are intelligent. Why, and I just personally bugs me, because I just can't stand how people fight so hard for mediocrity. It is the worst fucking thing, mediocrity. And it's like Obama was just a community organizer. He doesn't have any experience in government. And now with Trump, it's like, we need somebody who hasn't been in government before. And Trump will be really great for this, because we just have so much going on. It's like, he's a great businessman, but he's been like bankrupt like 6-7 times. Like, he's just bankrupt and bankrupt and bankrupt and bankrupt. And, so let's just not say he's a great businessman. Let's just say he's great at, maybe seeming like he's a great businessman or something. So, but the data shows otherwise. So anyway, you're welcome. You know what I think with Meghan? I think Meghan was just truly excited, because this for her was her first time in her life where she actually just had time to just simply focus on raising, making a real impact in humanity. So she is really excited, really, really excited. And how she does things like she wants to engage the fashion world. She wants to do this, but that's her way of engaging people who actually are hyper focused on material things and pulling them into humanitarian awareness. So, I mean, she does a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think, and she's so highly productive. Like, look at this girl. She came and she created this cookbook. She did all, and that was like in the first couple months, I think 1 or 2 months, she was already publishing a cookbook and all this. And she hit the ground running with the charities and stuff like that. She had a baby. She's pregnant the whole way through. She still wants to run and do stuff. But I mean, she just got beaten down so much for just being efficient, And, I just can't stand when people beat down other people. Oh, you just show off and this. Why, and it's Kanye West said something about this. I want you guys to see this video. I'm going to link it if I remember, hopefully. Kanye West actually talked about what I'm talking about now. It was the first time, because I was like, didn't, I was like, Kanye? And I listened to this thing. I was like, damn, he really made sense. And this was like some years ago. This was like 5 or 6 years ago or whatever. And he was talking about, he was like, everyone tells you to be humble, you know, and no one is telling you to realize your highest potential. Like, yes, say you're great. It's okay to say you're great. And by the way, I'm not saying that Kanye, you know, but what I'm saying is how he said this. And when Kanye is on a roll, when Kanye is in his real element and he's not ranting or whatever, like he's really talking about something very, very specific, there is a real power to it. And he really talked about that. And he said, and they're always teaching us how to look to the past. The first thing they're teaching us is history all the time in school. We should be focused on the future. You know, like, you know, sometimes I find some things that he says, you know what, I'm not even going to say that, but, you know, a few things, it's like, damn, that was refreshing. We should be focused on the future. And I understand there is an importance to understand things with history. But like Gary Vaynerchuk said, you don't need so much of that nowadays when you can just look everything up on Google now. You know, we should, in my opinion, we should be focusing children on, first of all, critical thinking skills. And secondly, really, firstly, A1 really is how to manage yourself emotionally so that whatever happens in your household, whatever happens with your parents, whatever happens with any kind of dysfunction, you are able to process that and not internalize it. Like you are able to have your inner tools to be able to do that and not be so affected and impaled in a time of life when you don't have control to change your environment, you know, but you have control to be able to learn how to ride the waves and not internalize stuff and be able to ventilate, you know, and let go of stuff. So those are important things. But I just thought that was very interesting that he said they always are teaching us to look well into the past, and we should be looking to the future. We should be focusing on technology and keeping people in good places so that they don't have to fight so hard to keep people in mediocrity, you know? Because people have their emotions so mismanaged and they've been so abused by their parents or whatever, or talked out of their own life purpose. And when they see somebody who is in their life element, they've got to block it, stop it, you know, try to quell it. And that's boring. It's boring. It keeps people fucking dumb and regular. I'm so sick of it. I just want to I want to have a day that there's no karma, and I just want to go out and start slapping people who fucking do that. Like, stop trying to fight for mediocrity. Keeping people dumb. You know, I mean, honestly, what have we really done as humanity? Like, honestly, you know, honestly, we have been on this planet for thousands of years. Okay, we've invented a phone, we've invented a car, we've invented a plane, but we are dealing with, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the quality of education? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the quality of healthcare? You know, especially in the United States, these questions. Scale of 1 to 10, how is housing for people? On scale of 1 to 10, how is technology benefiting the entire global population? On a scale of 1 to 10, how are human rights? How are sexual rights? How is an enforcement of human rights? Scale of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. Like, I mean, if you sit there and scale of 1 to 10, like we are on the other side of the fives for a lot of them. That's like almost caveman status, and maybe even worse than caveman. Like when you think of it, if a meteor were to hit yesterday, okay, tomorrow, I mean, we have no option to go to any other planet. We've barely ever been to the moon. The trip that we took to the moon is disputable by some people. And I mean, that happened in like 1968 or 66, and we still are bumbling. Like, I still haven't seen a real picture of space. Like, have you guys seen those space documentaries? You always see them, they're always like freaking CGI. I'm like, why is everything always CGI? Something's wrong here. Like, you can't give me a real picture of Mars. And I've seen real pictures of Mars, but I'm just saying, like, you can't give me real video footage of Mars. You've sent stuff there multiple times. Like, why are we always looking at CGI? Why is it taking so long to get to other planets? Because we're too busy being in fucking mediocrity, holding each other back, and teaching each other fucking algebra in seventh and eighth grade when nobody fucking needs it. And I know I'm talking about going to a planet in one and then talking about not needing algebra in the other, and that doesn't necessarily make sense, but I think you get my point. Like, we're just not being efficient, like, in our school system. For those who really want to get into science and technology, and then those who will be pursuing other things. Like, we just waste so much time in school. So anyway, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it's just a planet to me in my mind. I'm like, why can't we get more pictures and more video? Like, this should be a problem. This is what I'm saying, and I don't mean to actually use this as my bitch platform, but it's happening. It's just like, we should be having a problem with the fact that NASA or whomever, like, we have not made any real developments that I personally know of in space, other than we've gone to the moon supposedly in 1968, and people are disputing some of that. One of which they're saying that the suits that the astronauts were wearing were not they were not radiation proof enough, because there's a belt. There's a really high level vibrational, high radiation belt that you have to travel through in order to get to the moon from the Earth. And they're saying with those suits that those guys had on, they would never have been able to survive going through that belt. And there are other things as well. But I'm just saying, like, really, you bring up all that stuff, and then it makes it hard not to shoot that shit down when we went to the moon in 1968. And what the freak else have we done since then? Is there anyone who has personally landed on Mars? Is it really that hard to get to Mars? And if it's that fucking hard to get to Mars, which is just a neighboring country, and I get it, it's a million miles. It's not a million, is it? It may be. Would somebody be kind enough to just figure out what the distance is from Earth to Mars and let me know if someone is kind enough and they have time? But I'm just saying, like, the fact that we don't have problems with that. Like, we don't have an issue with that. Like, why are we not further along in our technology in space? What if something were to happen tomorrow? We'd be relying on Elon Musk, which many psychics believe is an alien. And I said are, like, there's more than one of him. There's a series of aliens being one Elon Musk. But let me see. RB, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That is not what the British people say. What? Harry and Meghan are really good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what? William and Kate are the crown, right? Harry and Meghan can be the chariot. They could be the people in the field. But let it happen. It's okay. Be at home. Represent the crown. Do what you have to do. But just do stuff and then let them do what they have to do. So I'm not exactly sure, RB, what you're saying. Let me scroll more. And I'm not sure. Maybe you weren't even talking to me. Mm, I think we spoke about the queen, and I told you about 35 minutes ago that that queen is nothing short of amazing, that she has actually stopped coup attempts. I'm not sure if you missed that part, but this queen has actually solo, single-handedly saved real drama from going on in the official in parliament, let's say, in the real government, the part that has power. She has stepped in quite a few times and saved it and had to maneuver and been the only one, been really the one running the country. Not for long, but just because she knows how to come in and do the one, two, three. Nothing more than 5 steps with her. I don't get, she doesn't leave that deep of an impression. Like her moves are like samurai, very, very quick and clean, cut, kill. So as far as the 21st century, I would ask the British taxpayers that. I think that there's a lot of back and forth with that. Um, yeah, I think the Queen shows up as nothing short of amazing in the readings, always, always. I think you may have missed a part of the video and many others where I have said that. Yeah. Anyway, so that seems like a side conversation, but I do want to get back to my little bitch session. I'm freaking freezing. What time is it? Okay, so I'm going to give myself 15 minutes, and then that's it. All right. So this is what I'm going to say is that I just feel like us not having a problem with more scientific technological advancement in space, you know, is an issue. And I I don't know about this Space Force thing. It just sounds like space balls, like some kind of parody of Star Wars or whatever. But I mean, if we're going to start in space, let's just start by being able to, let's start here on Earth by just being able to get to space in the first fucking place. Like let's start with creating more technology and figuring out how to create more technology where it doesn't take 30 years to get to Mars, and the only thing we can send is a roving robot, like come on. So I don't know what the hell Space Force is. It seems so arbitrary and weird. And then of course Trump is talking about this is our next frontier where wars or something. Like I'm like, why of all things are you introducing the word war into something? Like there's nothing going on up there. Stop it. Stupid. Stop. You know what I mean? Like stop constantly keeping people up in turmoil, like psychological turmoil, talking about war in a place where there's no damn war. Stop it. Oh my God. So, yeah. Oh my God. You know what? I forgot. I keep meaning to ask Didi. Climate change. Exactly. You know, I mean, I didn't even touch on climate change, but how hard is it to make everything compostable? How hard is it to stop as I shake on my plastic bag here? But how hard is it to just simply use compostable plastic? Like, what is the problem? Solar energy, I mean, what is the issue? So we want to talk about the economic. You wanted to ask about the economic, right? Mm, oh, we have got to stop with these cards being in reverse. I don't read cards in reverse, really. Mm, These cards are so calibrated around the Queen and Meghan. Give me one more second on that whole storyline. All right, we still have like 12 minutes. Where are we going to be economically? Like world economy. There are people who are trying to come forward and make this world obviously more efficient. That's what it's commenting on here. Saving money, equalizing the currency issues, um, those type of things, and they're not being capitalized on. All I see is like squandering, frittering, you know, just real disrespect. And I just feel like, something's going to come to a head soon. Oof. There may be another attack somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Or it's a natural disaster. I think at farmers as well. Farmers in the United States are going to mobilize. So I think they're hurting. I think, they were expecting that Trump was going to actually help them. They're still insisting on. Yeah. Oh, well, there's this other thing. You talk about climate change. Like, there are a lot of crops. People are having a lot of problems growing their crops here. There's also droughts in certain places, but there's something going on where people can't tell. And I know some of it is like, I know the chocolate, there's some kind of shortage for chocolate. I know the chocolate is important for the soul and it keeps the peace. Without chocolate and coffee, I think, and ramen noodle soup, real ramen, I think there would be like mass breakouts of war. But no, seriously though, chocolate, the overfishing, obviously, and the bananas are suffering some weird kind of fungal attack all over the creation, like in South America, in Indonesia, So I think with climate change, there's some very strange things actually going on that are going to start affecting the crops, and the farmers, I think, in the United States already are trying to. There's also a problem with all of the farming that's going on in China and buying a lot of stuff from China. Like, China's growing a lot of food, and I think a lot of people have issues with that, and it's issue with the quality of the food as well. What's going on with that? Mm. I think it's just Trump's bummed out about his impeachment, even though Trump hasn't been removed. But he just can't get over like the rejection. That's what you want to call it. I think he's also reluctant to like go overseas and meet with other leaders now because he felt so bad when like Trevor Noah said other leaders were talking shit to use Trevor Noah's words. Other leaders were talking shit about Trump. And honestly, it's really not funny. It's like laughing stock. Like, it isn't funny, but if it hadn't been such a mockery so long of the highest position in our land, mine and other United Statesian people, it would have been more of a shock, kind of like back when Bush got those shoes thrown at him and dodged them like Neo in the Matrix, from that man who was really upset with him about Iraq, which, based on the data and based on the fact that the UN said, hey, we have sent teams in there, we have looked for weapons of mass destruction, Our inspectors show, I think on 3 different occasions, there aren't any. And Bush said, we're going in anyway without any consent from the American people, other than him being elected by some other people in America. He went on and waged this war. So that man threw his shoes at Trump, threw his shoes at Bush. And Bush was able to dodge it. And I believe that Bush, obviously, I'm not even going to get into it, but I mean, just our president is of every country. I'm sure people are taught, you obviously look at that as a sacred position. Like, don't go just shitting on other people, and don't put yourself in a position where people are just like being so disrespectful, or, you push people to the point where they're just all out. They're just all out trying to disrespect you because you've shown no respect for them. So, there's just a lot going on. But where am I on the time here? Oh, wow. I've got no, that can't be right. I don't have 10 minutes. I've got 5, I'm sure. All right. So let's see. Farmers voted against themselves. Yeah. And this is the other thing in the United States. This is the thing that also gets on my nerves as well. Where Hillary went wrong too is that she said she wasn't going to do anything for anybody in the Rust Belt. And you should never treat American people like that and say, well, I'm not going to worry about you guys. And that's why she lost. That's one reason. Well, I mean, actually, in the popular vote, obviously, she won 2 million votes over Trump. If we were a democracy, she would have been president. But the fact that she, decided that she wasn't going to do anything or even address the concerns of people in the Rust Belt was the issue. And this is the thing that gets on my nerves. Like, if you've been working in a factory, bro, I mean, and you're fighting for your rights to work in a factory in 2017. Don't get me started with the tiki torch dudes who have, like, you've had every single law in your favor for 350 years or whatever it is for this country. At the moment, I can't do the math. And your best move is to tiki torch it and be part of a block that is talking about you want your job at the factory. Bro, really? In 2017, with everything you've had, you know what I mean? And you want the factory job for your child? Like, what? No, like, bring me jobs in technology to my town. I don't want to be on an assembly line. A robot can do that. Like, honestly, what are we doing here? This is how we want to live life, and this is what we want for our children, for them to be on a factory line, bent over something, somebody worrying about rapid eye motion and repeated hand carpal tunnel syndrome problems, like, that's the best you're going to get from life in a world where in a country where the healthcare is like not, it's really not the greatest. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Last time I checked, the farmers are still going to vote for Trump. It's going to be very interesting what happens in the next 9 months as far as voting is concerned. The whole presidential election has been nothing short of just another circus, if you ask me. And I just think people are just tired of this bullshit. And I mean, the fighting, like, if you watch some of the debates as well, they're so pathetic in that CNN or whatever the hell, they're always trying to start these fights. And it seems like This never happened. It was a trend that started with Trump when in his original run for presidency. He was doing having all these cat fights with Rubio and all these other people, and people were enjoying it. But I'm like, you don't get your fucking entertainment from the person who's going to lead the country. You know, you get your entertainment from freaking WWF and freaking cage fighting, stupid morons. And so now everybody supposedly like really loved all of that. Oh my God, I'm enjoying this. You know, I'm like, please talk about politics. I don't need you to talk about small hands and little Marco and all of this shit. Like, tell me what's going on with where the direction of our country, honestly. And don't just talk about how everything is all messed up. Oh, this is a disaster, and that's a disaster, and this is a disaster. And yet you're a goddamn disaster who's pissed off all of our allies to the point where they just gather in like a freaking water cooler schoolyard circle C and talk shit about you, as Trevor Noah said, talk shit about you. So anyway, yeah, I better get going. This is my time, people. Thank you so much for hearing my rants. I will definitely check out The Great Hack. Thank you very much, Dee Dee. I don't know, sometime over in the next 6 weeks. Let's say that. Selena and Justin. I just did a reading on Justin. Update on Haley. Okay. I'm telling you, I gave you the extended reading. This really wasn't an extended reading. This was just some other stuff. But yeah, it's certainly extended for sure. Will there be a crash? I would say yeah. It's about due. But I feel like these crashes, the crash that comes now, will not be anywhere near as bad as the other ones. Yeah, I don't think RB, unless you're responding to someone else, I don't think that anyone has ever indicated that the royal family has ever needed any quote unquote saving by Meghan. I think the royal family was doing, to a certain extent, doing what it was doing on its own, and it was the royal family always on its own. But I think Meghan has just come in, and the Queen wants to take things to another level before she leaves. Why don't you go see some of my old videos from like 2017, May of 2000, I'm sorry, 2018, and you'll see what I'm talking about, like what the Queen wants to do, regardless of whether Harry married Meghan or Harry didn't, or Harry met Sally. Harry was going to do this anyway. All this stuff he was going to do. He wasn't going to have as strong a partner, but he was going to do it. There were going to be some changes made, and because that's just Harry, and he is the royal family. So there are things that he wants to help out with economically. He wants to stabilize people in other countries that have been historically destabilized. And he wants to assist with that. And he just wants people to be okay around the world. And so, he has a different outlook. It's definitely a lot more active. There are causes and patronages, obviously, that everyone in the royal family are working with, but he has a real something. And some of this comes like from his mother. Some of this passion, like him wanting to literally get out in the world, because he really identified and remembers her memory as having done that, as really having gotten out there, walking in the minefields, you know, kissing children in AIDS ridden riddled villages and things like that. And I'm not saying, you know, Princess Diana was the truth there. You know, there are not many people who want to go deal with, you know, people will want to help you, but there are not many people who could deal with going into a village of people with AIDS, or dealing with children who are sick with, you know, different diseases and stuff like that that are contagious. You know, it really takes a certain type of person. That is why I say I'm not hard on Kate. Not everybody is made for that type of thing. You have to be a special person. But I know whatever the case was, is that Harry is also very driven and very passionate, and it's the way he connects with his mom is to carry on her legacy. And so, you know, Meghan doesn't have a damn thing to do about it. The conversation of her saving the royal family is not even relevant. Harry was going to turn this shit upside down no matter what, because of the purity and the strength of his purpose being a little out of alignment with others. So that's it. All right. Oh. I mean, I don't know. You know, I felt really funny about that too. Like when I think it was Meghan's father who brought that up, like, oh, Meghan's going to update the royal family. You know, Thomas Markle, he's very clever at stirring up shit. You know what I mean? And it felt like when he said that, oh, she's going to bring them into the 21st century, it felt like, you know, super condescending. And it also put her like, excuse me, you know, excuse me, chick, think you're going to upgrade us? You what are you trying to say? You know what I mean? Like, he really was like a master of disaster as far as that is concerned. So, you know, I suppose, you know, given, I mean, well, Kate, you know, and that's another thing as well. Like, Kate and William have been there forever, and they're older than Harry. I mean, shouldn't if the royal family were supposed to be in the 21st century, shouldn't they have been the ones who have shouldn't it have already been there already? And I mean, I mean, you know, when you think of things like that, and Dee Dee, I'm not answering your question at all. I'm just thinking off into other things. And I'm just like, when you think of it like that, like, I think that's some of the reason why maybe people have an issue also too with Kate and William at times, because I actually have seen people call Kate lazy online. Have you guys seen that? I was surprised about that. I was like, really? I have seen that. And I've seen people say that she's only gotten pregnant so much so she could be constantly on maternity, like cruel stuff. Like, to me, that's kind of a little bit too much. Oh, all the time, you said? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know all of that. Um, yeah, I mean, I just, you know, in May of 2018, when I started reading for them, and then I saw her readings, and like I said, Dee Dee, if you want to go back, you have to go back to my other channel to see those original readings, the other Invite the Light channel, and you can go look for Meghan's readings there, with Kate in there, but you will see like the hangman, and you know, like, I was like, oh, she's a little bit idle. But the personal reading that I did for her was kind of interesting too, and I don't think I ever released that one. But she just doesn't, you know who she's supposed to be. She just has been doing what everybody has asked her to be, and you know, within the royal household, that's what I saw in that reading. And I guess now she's kind of like feeling really entitled because she's like, listen, I have done what everybody has told me, and I have molded myself into what everyone's expected me to be, and I am going to be queen. Oh my God. Okay, are there somebody firing fireworks or gunshots? I've never heard this before. What the heck is all that about? This is like really crazy. Okay, folks, I'm serious now. I really gotta go. Oh, the doula. Wow, that's something. I'm going to put in a note here, guys, because I'm getting off in a few seconds here. So I will catch you guys maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure if I can do like the reading then or whatever, but I'm going to get on out of here, right? So I am 4 minutes behind my time, and I shall talk to you. Thank you so much. Coco, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Enjoy. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Give to yourself, Dee Dee. Thank you so much. Enjoy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yes, this was extended, honey. I mean, but I think the other one was like 3 hours the other day too. It's crazy. Good night, everyone. Have a good one, and we'll chat soon. Bye bye now. We'll